Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is actually a proper update. So I did put out a premiere about this video as its own separate story. And at the time when the story came out, I didn't have pictures. I didn't have names. The police and the media didn't put that information out there yet. So when they finally did, after my live stream was over, I was able to at least put up a thumbnail so people could visually see who the individuals were that we were talking about in this story. This story, you know what? I feel like I'm being cliche at the moment. I know I say a lot that stories just can't get much dumber than this. You can't be that level of dumb. But Lord have mercy. Houston, Texas has taken us to an all new low, okay? They have taken us about 50 steps backwards. And Houston, Texas, I can't even give it to Texas. Houston takes the L yet again. I'm going to tell y'all something. I really worry about Houston, and I really worry about the parents out there because y'all have the worst parenting stories about children being murdered, abused, missing, kidnapped, sold. Some of the worst stories you're ever going to hear are going to come right out of Houston, Texas, straight up and down. Don't believe me? You can actually look on my channel, and there are a lot of Houston-specific stories. With this story, what you have in Harris County, in Houston, Texas, is mom was dealing with a man. And that's why I have this shirt on. It's called Babies for Benefits. And trust me, we'll get there. We will get there. We talk about Babies for Benefits. And the reason I use that hashtag is because I personally believe that there are too many people who only produce children so they can collect benefits off of their children because they're selfish, they're disgusting, and they don't care about their kids. Hashtag Babies for Benefits. That's an AFC hashtag, by the way. Houston, Texas. As we struggle to understand, and this is a timeline, and I have to shout out ABC for this article. As we struggle to understand how an 8-year-old baby's body, I guess not a baby, but I call it an 8-year-old a baby. But nonetheless, an 8-year-old's body could be left in an apartment with his 3 siblings for a year in West Harris County, and how someone could murder a child in the first place. We are also learning more about this case. So I'm going to warn you guys, I'm going to give some opinions that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. I'm going to say some things that might upset you. So you might want to make sure and put your diaper on tight tonight. All right, let's get started. It's horrific, but unfortunately not terribly uncommon, according to former juvenile judge Mike Snyder, who oversaw thousands of cases during his time on the bench. When you have unrelated males in the same home as children, the chance of one child being abused just skyrockets, he said, noting that abusers are even more likely to abuse children who are not related to them. Now, where did you guys hear that from before? This guy. I've tried to tell you guys. Well, let me say, more specifically, I tried to tell my ladies. I know it's not all. I know most of my ladies in the chat understand what I'm saying. But a lot of ladies don't understand when I tell you guys that men in general are not going to treat your children the same way as if they would if those children belong to their own DNA. And yes, we're going to talk about this fake Paul Wall, busted, wannabe Crip looking ass little boy right here. He's not a man. He's a little boy. And we're going to talk a whole lot of crap about him in just a moment, okay? But I want to make sure that y'all see how funny his face looks. His face literally looks like a baked potato that has been just grabbed and squeezed and somebody stuck the foil inside of his mouth. This fool looks an absolute mess. And this mother gave up her children for that? For that? Where are my ladies at out there? Maybe I can't judge a man's looks, but maybe there's some ladies in the chat. If y'all feel like there's some level of attractiveness about this, then maybe y'all let me know. Maybe I got it wrong, okay? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe this man is awesome. Y'all would love to have y'all a white man like that, right? But nonetheless, he confirmed what I said. I've said that before. Snyder says the kids have already undergone a lot of trauma and hope that they are able to be placed with relatives together in a single home, loving home. A lot of kids who come from worse environments you or I could ever imagine. If you ask them where they would like to stay, they often will pick a place that's horrible for them, but it's a place with someone they know. Very interesting. Everyone involved in the case says it's almost beyond comprehension. Even investigators have admitted. Matter of fact, let me skip this part. Let's go straight to the timeline. And if you guys are listening, do me a favor, make sure y'all click this thumbs up. I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to at least hear our take on this news story, okay? So let's start with 2020. While it's only just been discovered that the remains of the little boy, let me see if I can get his face up on the screen for you guys, for those who might not have seen him. I have like 1 or 2 pictures of him right there. Let me see if I have a different one. I like this one. This is the one I like. I can kind of relate to this one a little bit more. This is 8-year-old Kendrick Lee. 8 years old. That baby boy looks like he wouldn't do a thing to hurt anybody on this earth. For him to meet this demise the way that he did, but let me explain what happened. His remains were discovered. So if you guys have not caught that, the biggest portion of this story is that there were at least 3 children. No, there were 4 children left to live in a Section 8 apartment, basically. They were left by their biological mother. Mom went to go live with the boyfriend not that far away, and then she was just sending them the bare essentials, a little bit of food, a little bit of this and that, just to make sure that I guess they didn't pass away, I guess. So she left them there, pretty much abandoned them, and abandoned them for a year, and Mom's boyfriend ended up murdering that little boy, age 8 years old. And he was left, his dead corpse was left to rot in the apartment with the kids there, with the mom being gone and boyfriend being gone, until the corpse became dry, which means he withered completely away within that 12-month time frame. I know that's disgusting, and I know y'all are probably thinking, but what about the smell of death and all of that other stuff? I don't really know how you describe that. But here, let me tell you guys more about the story. One question that people want to know is, weren't the kids missing from school? Which I actually asked that question. So the A-Leaf ISD, which A-Leaf is like that general area, I believe, confirmed to the news that in 2019 and 2020, the school district filed truancy papers against the mother. And her name is, let me see if I can get her name back up here. I don't have it in front of me. Let me see. Do I have her name? Let me see if I can get this woman's name back up here. Y'all give me a moment. Gloria Y. Williams. This woman. That is an alleged mother. That's Gloria Y. Williams. And the school filed truancy papers against the mother. 2 of her children apparently failed to show up for school. District officials said that the kids were last enrolled May of 2020 in school. A September 2020 home visit went unanswered, according to the district. So somebody actually came out to try to check. Gloria Y. Williams. So thank y'all very much for that. Shortly before Thanksgiving appears to be the last time that Lee would be alive. The holiday last year fell on November the 26th. So let's talk about November 2020. According to Sergeant Walford, Coulter, the mom's boyfriend, who is Brian W. Coulter, like I say, little fake gangster, little fake Paul Wall looking little boy right here with them fake silver teeth in his mouth. Let me see if I can get a better picture of him up here. This guy, and he has a warrior tattoo underneath his neck. This dude is an idiot, an absolute idiot. They both look crazy as hell. Like mom looked like she got beat up with a bottle of bleach, and mom's boyfriend looked like somebody pulled him out of a lawnmower or something. But his name is Brian W. Coulter, which is spelled Coulter. So let's keep going. Coulter beat Kendrick Lee to death sometime between November 20th and November the 29th of 2020. Beat, kicked, and stomped him to death. I want to make sure and stress that. The details of the beating are very, very gruesome. Lee's brother said in a testimony, because of course the kids or, some of the older kids were able to talk about this, said that mom's boyfriend kicked and punched the child repeatedly until he stopped moving and had black eyes. The boy said that mom's boyfriend Coulter then covered his body with a blanket. This all happened inside an apartment at City Park 2 at West Oaks on Greencrest near Addicts Clothing and West Park Tollway. Shortly after the murder, mom's boyfriend Coulter was arrested at, I can never pronounce that gas station correctly, Bucci's, BUC-EE''S. I always say Bucci's or whatever. Anyway, Bucci's, the gas station in Lulling, is where he was arrested at, a Texas town of around 5,800 people located about 140 miles west of Houston along I-10. The manager of that gas station called dispatch and asked for a welfare check on an intoxicated male subject who they thought was possibly armed with a handgun. This guy. Explaining to Chief Police Bill Sala in an interview with the news, my officer went out there and encountered Brian Coulter, and his passenger was the biological mother, Gloria Y. Williams. Sala said Coulter, the boyfriend, was in the Caldwell County Jail from November 23rd until November 29th when he was able to bond out. Based on those dates, the Harris County Sheriff's Office timeline, the little boy was killed just a day or two before that arrest. So they might have been able to catch this right when it happened, but they didn't, and the story gets a little bit deeper. His case in Lulling is still pending, mom's boyfriend. So 2021, what has happened in nearly 1 year since Lee's murder? That is among the many pieces of the investigation officials are trying to put together. On Sunday, October 24th of 2021, a few days ago, Harris County deputies responded to the scene at an apartment complex where Kendrick Lee, the 8-year-old boy, his skeletal remains were found and his siblings were left abandoned. The sheriff's office said they received a call from a 15-year-old claiming that his brother had been dead for a year in the apartment he shared with his siblings. The teenage boy also told 911 dispatchers that his parents had not lived in the apartment with him and his 2 living siblings for several months. Before calling for help, the 15-year-old texted his mom to tell her he could not take it anymore. The fact that they just left this all on him. Yes, and this is completely awful. So when the police got there, when the deputies got there, they found the skeletal remains consistent with what that teenage boy told dispatchers. I'm sure they are so messed up behind this. Let's keep going. Meanwhile, deputies located the mom, Williams, and boyfriend Coulter, and after being interviewed by law enforcement, they were released. They were released on Monday, October 25th, and no charges were filed. Now, y'all remember, that's when I gave my input on the story. And I said, there's no way that they couldn't have charged them. They had plenty of evidence against them, but that's part of the legal process. It takes a little time sometimes. So this is part of where maybe I could have been a little more patient, but I had an opinion on that story and I wanted to go ahead and give my opinion, so I went ahead and talked about it. But the very next day, on October 26, 2021, the couple was officially charged. Williams, the mom, with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence, a human corpse, and Coulter was charged with murder. Sheriff Gonzalez said the pair could face even more charges, which I think they should. How many of you guys that listen to the sound of my voice right now believe that they should get every charge possible? I don't know what you could throw at them, but I would love to see, maybe about 12 to 13 more charges. Just give them both 13 more extra charges. Give them as much time in prison as possible before they reach Satan in hell, because that's exactly where they're going. Coulter and Williams were arrested that night at a public library. Why? And this is what tripped me out, because I just found this out today. Why do y'all think they were at the library? Just can't be this level of dumb. Stupid is as stupid thugs, right? Why do y'all think they were at the library? They were at the library watching the news, looking up news articles about the story of mom's boyfriend murdering that boy and them abandoning those children in that apartment. They looked up their own case. Thank you. They were at the library looking up their own case. Let's keep going. The medical examiner ruled Kendrick Lee's death as a homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries. And I'm surprised they were actually able to find that, because y'all got to remember, the boy was completely dry when they found him from decomposition. But let's keep going. I know that's really hard to hear. Now, investigators believe that mom's boyfriend Coulter and Williams moved out, leaving the children to fend for themselves as their brother's body decomposed. The news learned that the couple lived in an apartment that was just 15 minutes away. 15 minutes away in an area called West Chase District. Then on Wednesday, October 27th, charges were read in court against Coulter, though he did not appear. He was being evaluated at the mental health unit. The judge set his bond at $1 million. The judge also ordered him not to have contact with any minors, specifically the minor witnesses in this case, and no contact with the boy's mother. A judge set Williams' bond at $900,000 and then $350,000 for injury to a child, $300,000 for tampering with evidence, and $250,000 for injury by omission. So I guess that amounts to about $900,000, I guess. The mom, Williams, has also been ordered to have no contact with her children or any minors and have no contact with the boyfriend, Coulter. Now, the judge who was supposed to see Coulter recused himself from the case for personal reasons. Now, I don't know why that is, but I would like to find out why. It's unknown at this time what those reasons are, so another judge filled in. When Coulter arrived, he walked in slowly, asking the judge several questions. At times, it appeared he didn't understand what was being read to him, and I think he's just playing stupid. Coulter asked the judge to repeat what the charges were against him and if he's convicted, if the sentencing is indeed 5 to 99 years or life. The judge said yes, but also advised him to speak through his attorney because anything he says in court can be used against him. The initial judge's recusal has implications in this case, at least for now. Williams was expected to go before the judge on Friday, and that appearance has now been pushed back. Both she and Coulter are still currently in jail. So some of you guys might be wondering about the neighbors, because we talked about this on the last video. Why did the neighbors allow this to slip past them? How did you not smell this? And if you did smell it, why did you not report it? If you did report it, why didn't the apartment complex do anything in an entire year? They never walked this apartment. They never checked the apartment. They never came by. This is very, very clear. The apartment complex did not come by. They neglected their duty to come by there and have this thing investigated. Because if they did, then that means they would have known something was wrong, and then they could probably get arrested too. So I'm going to assume that they just flat out didn't show up and didn't give a crap. Yes? All right, let's keep going. The neighbors told the news that the 15-year-old child, the oldest one that was in there, relied on them for food. So the neighbors are actually trying to help. Yes, I thought the neighbors were a little bit trifling. You help a kid one time with food. Yes. Help a kid a second time with food. Yes. Come on, parents. Do I have any parents out there? Somebody talk to me and tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. By the third time this kid needs help with food, that is a red flag. Yes? If you ask me, the third time, that should have been a red flag, like something is wrong. Why do you not have food? Why are your parents, quote unquote parents, not providing for you? I would have immediately went to that apartment or called for a welfare check from the police, from CPS, from NBC, ABC, MTV, BET, whoever the hell you could have got out there. They should have got somebody out there, right? Call the damn FBI. Do something. The resident by the name of Erica said that she noticed that something was wrong and started to give food to the eldest child about 6 months ago. She let this go for 6 months. Erica, the neighbor, said that the teen wouldn't accept any food that was actually cooked. He would only take packaged snacks, fruit, and pizza. I didn't want to push him away by asking questions because I knew he was starving and he needed food. I know some of y'all are not going to be happy with me saying this, but I have to say this. This woman sounds like she does not have a husband, let alone a boyfriend at home. Because if that were my woman going and feeding some kid, guess what a man is going to do? Guess what a husband is going to do? Anybody want to take a guess at that? What would a husband do in this situation? The husband would immediately investigate. A husband ain't going to keep spending his money on somebody else's kids and somebody else's responsibility. Hello? You're talking about the logical mind. Women's minds are emotional. Men's minds are logical. You put us together. We work together great as a team. We need both. We need mothers and fathers in the home. We need husbands and wives in the home. Yes? If this neighbor had a husband, the husband would have immediately investigated, could have solved this a long time ago. Now let's keep going. The apartment the boys were living in was in a deplorable condition. And y'all know what deplorable means. It was absolutely disgusting and filthy. I don't want to go into the details right now. The unit reportedly had no furniture, no bedding. The carpet was soiled and it was infested by cockroaches and flies. But could the children have been discovered sooner? One neighbor told the news that she complained for months about a smell that was coming from the apartments, and that was the black lady. I think I moved her interview. I could probably show y'all that again. But it was a black lady came out on the news and she said that she couldn't even turn her air conditioning on because of the strong smell, and she reported it to the apartment multiple times. Okay? Another neighbor said that she would see Coulter and Williams actually come and go to the apartment, but never saw any of the children. A third neighbor by the name of Trevor described the 15-year-old as paranoid, and he was afraid of getting poisoned, which is why he would only accept certain kinds of food. It's beyond me. Anyway, a few times I would notice the lights weren't on and it was quiet upstairs, so I figured there was trouble because the parents haven't been there in a while, according to Thompson, which is one of the neighbors, which is Trevor Thompson. One day, he came here and knocked on the door and asked if I could use his charger, or asked if he could use the charger, and we built a bond from there. I started offering him food because I knew he needed more than just a charger. The two neighbors said they never called authorities. I want y'all to catch this. The neighbors said they never called authorities because they didn't understand the magnitude of the situation. Starving kids, and you don't think to call police, you don't think to call for help, you don't think that children shouldn't be starving? Huh, interesting. Okay. They said that the 15-year-old kept to himself and was quiet and did not answer many questions. According to the sheriff's office, after they were discovered, all 3 surviving boys were taken to the hospital where the doctor said they were malnourished with injuries. Investigators believe that the boyfriend, Coulter, beat the 9-year-old and caused an injury about 3 weeks ago. So that was actually pretty recent. No medical attention was given at the time, and the boy will soon undergo surgery because I think he said he broke the 9-year-old boy's jaw. Now, I don't know why that's missing from this because I read it in another article, but I think mom's boyfriend broke the 9-year-old's jaw, so he was on his way to murdering a second child in a year, and nobody knew anything. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all want to hear what the family members of the mom had to say about this? Because I've got a couple of their interviews. They're a little bit short, but if y'all want to hear that, let me know. I'll be glad to play those videos. Williams reportedly told deputies that she witnessed her boyfriend punching her now deceased son in 2020 and that she tried to stop him, which I think that's bullcrap. The next day, she went back into the room where the beating took place and found the 8-year-old boy dead under the blanket. According to the details revealed in court, #NotMyWords, court documents, the mom Williams admitted that she knew her son was dead, but she did not notify law enforcement because she's saying that her boyfriend told her not to. That's just flat out stupid. She was afraid her kids would be taken by CPS, and she was afraid she would go to jail. Guys, there is so much more we need to talk about. Let's go ahead and get to these news videos, because I have a lot more to say, and I actually want to talk some more about these horrible neighbors out there, okay? So I hope y'all don't mind. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. But I guess we're not supposed to judge though, right? We're not supposed to judge a mother and boyfriend starving, beating, and murdering children. I guess we're just supposed to turn the other cheek, I guess? I don't know. Let's get it.
The story of what happened to 4 young brothers in a West Harris County apartment is horrific and heartbreaking. But it's important to understand what happened so everyone can recognize the signs and hopefully be able to rescue other children who are having to suffer the same nightmare in silence.
This case involves a man accused of beating his girlfriend's children, killing one of them, while the mother's accused of failing to protect her boys. Lauren Tallarico is asking the tough questions tonight about how these children could suffer for so long without anyone noticing.
Straight up. And again, if you guys are watching, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. Look at the number of people who are watching. That's how many thumbs up we want to have. So if y'all can, look down for a moment. Make sure y'all click that thumbs up. We want to try to bring this community together and bring more people to watch this story, okay? So please hit that thumbs up. Let's keep going.
You know, the more we learn about this investigation, the worse it gets. Tonight, we're about to give you an inside look into the lives of this mother and her boyfriend. But first, we have got to warn you, what you're about to hear is upsetting.
Getting high is not for everybody.
These videos and pictures you're seeing are from the public Instagram accounts of Gloria Williams and her boyfriend, Brian Coulter. Scrolling through, they showcase jewelry, food, and he talks about getting drunk or high repeatedly.
I smoke mad weed. I drink mad. Man, look, I just do my fair share of things.
Today in court, as Gloria Williams stood before a judge, prosecutors said her son told investigators Coulter's drinking led to the abuse.
He stated when the co-defendant would drink beer and alcohol, he would get very strong.
Investigators with the Harris County Sheriff's Office say the boys were beaten, locked in rooms, and malnourished, forced to live alone in the same apartment with their 8-year-old brother's remains. Court documents say Coulter beat little Kendrick Lee to death in front of 2 of his brothers just before Thanksgiving last year.
Striking him in the face, feet, buttocks, back, his legs, and testicles with closed fists and feet. He stated,
I want to make sure y'all heard that. Let me rewind this just a moment. Listen at these details, because some of these details I didn't give y'all earlier. Listen again.
Brothers' remains. Court documents say Coulter beat little Kendrick Lee to death in front of 2 of his brothers just before Thanksgiving last year.
striking him in the face, feet, buttocks, back, his legs, and testicles
Did y'all hear that?
with closed fists and feet. He stated his younger brother's eyes were black and that he stopped blinking during the assault.
On Sunday, the 15-year-old, seen blurred here, called 911 and this hell was discovered.
In my long time of working homicides, this one's up there. You know, this one affected us.
We saw soiled carpet, no furniture at all. No bedding, no blankets.
Sheriff Ed Gonzalez also says the apartment was infested with bugs and the 10-year-old had a broken jaw from about 3 weeks ago that he needs surgery to correct. Investigators also believe that 2 of the boys are on the autism spectrum. As for why the teen waited so long to call 911,
I believe it was absolute fear.
investigators say the mother would drop off junk food. Neighbors
And yes, she had a total of 6 kids. We are not done with that part of the story. Do y'all want to hear about what happened to her daughters? We're not done. That's why I said make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up. I want to make sure that more people come in. Our thumbs up are a little low right now, so if y'all would look down, please click that thumbs up. Everybody can do that all at one time, okay? Let me say thank you real quick. Cecilia said they all need to be charged with something. The world needs to learn they can't turn their backs on children in harm's way. I felt that message. Thank you for saying that. I 100% felt that message. They flat out knew they had every opportunity to know something was wrong. These kids came asking for food day after day after day after day, and you don't say anything? Nothing. No welfare checks. Starving children are a huge burning red flag. But again, thank you for your super chat, but an amazing message. I 100% agree. Let's keep going.
say they too would provide food but had no idea what was going on inside. Alief ISD confirms the kids hadn't been in school since May of last year, and there were no CPS investigations open, according to the agency, although they had a history with the family. These kids slipped through the safety nets.
And what we know is that they work well for some, but they're not intended for all.
Allie Jacobs is the director of counseling at the Houston Area Women's Center.
What do we need to do to make sure that no other children suffer this way?
What typically happens is kind of this bystander effect, that someone thinks that someone else is going to do something. Don't rely on someone else to do the checking or do the action.
And also ask questions.
Serving meals is helpful, but also like, when was the last time you ate? Like, who's feeding you on a regular basis?
Tonight, those 3 children are in foster care. Investigators say they will play a huge role in this murder case.
And I've always told people, you don't fix a problem by throwing money at it. And in a situation like this, you don't fix a problem by just throwing some food at these kids. There is a huge underlying problem that would have been very easy to figure out real quick. Oh, they were abandoned. They were beaten. There's a dead kid in the house. That would have been very easy to find out. And the universe, if y'all believe in that, the higher power, the universe gave them plenty of context clues that they just flat out ignored.
Open prayer, and I'm sure that the community shares us that these kids find the love, support, and care that they deserve and need.
The boyfriend in this case is charged with murder. His bond was set at $1 million. The mother is facing several charges, including tampering with evidence. Her bond was set at $900,000. We're told charges could be added.
The story of what happened to 4 young brothers in a West Harris County apartment is horrific and heartbreaking. But it's important to understand what happened so everyone can recognize the signs and hopefully be able to rescue other children who are having to suffer the same nightmare in silence.
This case involves a man accused of beating his girlfriend's children, killing one of them, while the mother's accused of failing to protect her boys. Lauren Tallarico is asking the tough questions tonight about how these children could suffer for so long without anyone noticing.
You know, the more we learn about this investigation, the worse it gets. Tonight, we're about to give you an inside look into the lives of this mother and her boyfriend. But first, we have got to warn you, what you're about to hear is upsetting.
Getting high is not for everybody.
These videos and pictures you are seeing are from the public Instagram accounts of Gloria Williams and her boyfriend, Brian Coulter. Scrolling through, they showcase jewelry, food, and he talks about getting drunk or high repeatedly.
I smoke mad weed, I drink mad shit, man, look, I just do my fair share of things. So.
Today in court, as Gloria...
First tonight, a KHOU 11 News exclusive.
A jailhouse interview with the mother accused of abandoning her sons. Investigators say Gloria Williams failed to protect her boys and get them help despite her boyfriend allegedly beating one of them to death and continuing to abuse the others.
Tonight, she is apologizing. Grace White sat down with Williams at the Harris County Jail and joins us live with what she had to say. Grace?
Gloria Williams told me tonight she is sorry. There are no cameras allowed here inside the Harris County Jail, so we spoke separated by glass during visitation.
They are words from a 35-year-old mother charged with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence, a corpse. From inside the Harris County Jail, KHOU 11 News asked her what happened. Williams told us, "I'm sorry, I didn't do it." Her boyfriend, 32-year-old Brian Coulter, is charged with murder for the death of Williams' 8-year-old son, Kendrick Lee. The boy's remains were found inside the family's West Harris County apartment with his 3 other brothers, all abandoned. We asked Williams if she knew Lee was dead. She told us no.
And I believe that is absolute bullcrap. She knew. She didn't care.
But according to court documents, investigators say the mom altered, destroyed, and concealed her son's body to get...
And something else I wanted to call out, because I think I missed this last time. Do y'all notice something about these children? Maybe their skin color? Did y'all notice how the mom doesn't have any children by the boyfriend? Those are all black children. And those children have multiple fathers. I don't know if it's more than 2, but I know it's at least 2. And like I said, because we're going to talk about the girls here in a moment, we haven't got to that part of the story yet. But there are at least multiple fathers here, and mom's boyfriend was the father of none of these kids at all.
Get rid of evidence. When we asked Williams why she left the kids alone, she told us, "I checked on them every 2 weeks."
She checked on her kids every 2. I want to know who the biological fathers were. Who was getting this woman pregnant, man? What is wrong with y'all men? I hope y'all don't mind me saying that, ladies. What is wrong with some of these dudes? Are y'all that desperate? You look at this and you think, yeah, I'm going to have unprotected sex with that. And potentially get all kinds of things, including children and STDs, huh? Gross. Then you see what her boyfriend looked like? Her so-called thug, fake Paul Wall looking boyfriend, goes in the mouth and CEO, and man, I think it would be so much justice done in this world if what happened to these children, if you could do it to the people who did it to those kids. Now, what if somebody beat him to death, hand and foot, like he did those kids? Absolutely ridiculous.
Court documents, investigators say the mom altered, destroyed, and concealed her son's body to get rid of evidence. When we asked Williams why she left the kids alone, she told us, "I checked on them every 2 weeks." But when we questioned her further, she didn't want to elaborate or provide any more answers.
I saw it on the news, but, I didn't think anything of it.
Melody Robinson is one of the paternal grandmothers. She says Williams has a total of 6 kids, ranging in age from 7 to 17.
6 kids from age 7 to 17. She just kept making kids and kept making kids and kept making kids. Why? For the benefits from the children. Babies for benefits. It's the only reason she had children. That's why I have the shirt on today. Babies for benefits. Huh?
I didn't think anything of it.
Melody Robinson is one of the paternal grandmothers. She says Williams has a total of 6 kids, ranging in age from 7 to 17. She has custody of one of them, a 13-year-old girl, who she first brought into her home at just 2 weeks old.
Y'all have to hear this part of the story, because a lot of y'all didn't hear this part. I want y'all to hear about what happened to this little girl. Listen at this.
Mom was very unstable. She was sleeping on the floor at her grandmother's house with the babies. And so I just asked her to give her to me.
Robinson says she had no idea Kendrick was dead and the children were abandoned. She tells KHOU 11 she saw Williams in November. That's when another one of the children, a 17-year-old girl, wanted to come live with her because of Williams' boyfriend's behavior.
And she just got tired of, seeing him try to abuse her siblings, and when she stepped in to try to protect them, Mom put her out.
So Mom put out her own daughter to stay with this boyfriend. Are y'all hearing this? The 17-year-old tried to step in and Mom put her out. She needs 3 life sentences and a lot of time next to Satan in hell. That is so sad.
We're covering a very disturbing case out of West Harris County now.
She threw her daughter out to the streets because she wanted to keep this damn boyfriend. Ain't that a bitch?
Yesterday, a mother and her boyfriend were arrested after remains of a child were found. 35-year-old Gloria Williams has been charged with injury to a child by omission, and 31-year-old Brian Coulter has now been charged with murder. Williams' family says they haven't spoken with her in months. It's a story you'll see only on 2.
Hashtag TTO, hashtag TTT. They should not have reproductive organs. They should not have reproductive organs. You should have to have a license to produce children at this point. Because clearly nothing was going to ever stop her from having kids. But I actually ran across an interview. It's actually coming up here in a couple videos. I want y'all to hear what some of the neighbors said about how she conceived her children. They tried to say that the children came from God. I was like, oh my goodness. But we'll get there. I'll get to it here in a moment. Let's keep going.
How did we get to this? How could you not?
These are some of the family members.
Reach out and just be like, y'all, I've lost control. It's not in a good space. And we would have taken all of the kids.
The children had been living with their brother's skeletal remains for nearly a year. We have team coverage for you tonight. Rochelle.
at this apartment complex because the last time they met them over the summer, it was just the boyfriend who came outside of the apartment complex a 15-minute drive away.
I seen the news or the news article about the kids, but I never thought it was her.
Christy Smith and everyone sitting on this couch is related to Gloria Williams. The 35-year-old mother of 6 is charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence, while her 31-year-old boyfriend is facing murder for the death of her 8-year-old son, Kendrick. Harris County deputies say Kendrick was beaten and his corpse was left to decompose for 11 months inside of an apartment the couple abandoned to live elsewhere.
Kendrick was autistic. To my knowledge, when he would come around our family, all he did was smile.
Cousin Yasmin Craig says Kendrick was mostly nonverbal. She says as a family, they offered to raise Kendrick when he was younger, but William refused.
My mom has been asking for Kendrick since the day he was born. All because we knew that all these kids, eventually, she was not going to be able to be the best parent she can be.
Family.
She wasn't even a good parent to the first kid, let alone the second kid, let alone the third kid, let alone the fourth kid, let alone the fifth kid, let alone how do you even get to 6 effing kids when this woman with the first kid was sleeping on her grandmother's floor? That's just stupid. They have so many different ways that the government provides women who just have kids. It don't matter how they got here. If they got kids, if they got custody of the kids, they give them Section 8 food stamps off top. Housing. They get free stuff just for having kids. And you still screwed that up. Let me give a shout out to my brother, Relationship Rehab. He said they need the death penalty. Both of they need. Let me see. What did he say? They need the death penalty. Both their asses, bro. This was sickening. Man, I have not been right since I've heard this story, bro. All weekend. It's been bothering me all weekend. But shout out and salute the Relationship Rehab. My brother in the building. But I 100% agree. Absolutely.
Members say Williams had 6 kids, including the 3 surviving boys who were also living in the apartment, and 2 girls, whom she no longer has parental rights.
Let's back that up. I'm going to let y'all hear this again. I want y'all to listen at what happened to her girls, because in this story, what most of everybody in the news and everybody that's been sharing this story, y'all have heard about the dead boy. Y'all heard about him. And then you heard about the 3 other boys who were stuck at the apartment. That's 4. Plus the girls. 5, 6. Listen to what happened to the girls.
Also living in the apartment, and 2 girls, whom she no longer has parental rights. Melody Robbins, girls, whom she no longer has parental rights. It's including the 3 surviving boys who were also living in the apartment, and 2 girls, whom she no longer has parental rights.
So they had to come take the girls away from her custody.
Melody Robinson has full custody of the youngest daughter and says CPS told her this late last year.
Because Gloria gave up her rights to her and she failed the first child, that they would be going in to take all the other 4 boys.
The family says Williams was estranged, only reaching out for money, always saying the kids were fine.
Anytime we did go help.
She reached out for what? Maybe I didn't quite hear that right. Let me back that on up like a U-Haul truck. What did they say that she always came back and asked for, guys? Y'all see that? Y'all see the money bag on the t-shirt? What did they say she came back and asked for? Let's hear that again.
The 4 boys.
The family says Williams was estranged, only reaching out for money, always saying the kids were fine. Williams was estranged, only reaching out for money. Williams was estranged, only reaching out for money, always saying the kids were fine.
Anytime we did go help, where the kids at, how they doing? Oh, they in school. Yeah, it was always. So we never had an apartment number. She always be like, okay, I'm gonna meet y'all at the front of the apartment.
Michelle, you were at a news conference today and officials addressed the concern that the mother, well, she wasn't arrested right away.
Today, the Harris County Sheriff's Office shared new gruesome details about 3 brothers who are 15, 10, and 7 years old. For nearly a year, the children were living in an abandoned apartment with their brother's skeletal remains in West Harris County. Detectives say the child was 8 years old. His death ruled a homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries.
We saw soiled carpet, no furniture at all. No bedding, no blankets, nothing like that we could see.
Gloria Yvette Williams. This morning, the mother of the children, Gloria Williams, charged with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence. Her boyfriend, Brian Coulter, has been charged with murder in the death of Williams' child. Court documents revealed the child died last November, and the 7-year-old watched his brother get beaten to death.
All right, let's take a pause for the cause real quick. Real quick pause. We're at 424 thumbs up. So that means people just flat out stop clicking the thumbs up. We have new people in here. I just noticed we got some new people in here. Can y'all please do me a favor and click that thumbs up? We should easily be at 600. If only a few more people would click that thumbs up. Can we please reach 600 thumbs up? Can y'all let me know when y'all click that thumbs up, please? Some people don't understand why I asked for it. The reason why I asked for it, because it brings in more of our subscribers. People who should be here, but they don't know that we're live. It happens. So let's band together. Everybody, please click that thumbs up. If y'all think that murder and child abuse is wrong, please click that thumbs up. Share these babies' memories and support these stories. Real easy to do. We're stuck at 463, and I'm hoping to get us to 600 pretty quick. Can we get there, please? I don't want to keep pausing the video, but I also don't want to keep asking for people to click the thumbs up. Let me say thank you to those who were able to donate. It was a few people. Thank you, Beth. Beth, who was in the chat, I believe. Beth Hamilton, thank you. Brandy, thank you. Also, thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Jimmy D. Thank you, Donna Aguayo. And also thank you to Amanda with an M. Amanda with an M, if you're listening, thank you as well. Please click that thumbs up, please. You just clicked the thumbs up? Okay, thank you. That's fine. You only got to click it once, but please click that thumbs up. I'm starting to stutter.
His younger brother's eyes were black and that he stopped blinking during the assault, that they pulled back the covers and saw that he was really dead and saw roaches everywhere on him.
And Coulter did not appear in front of a judge today because he was being evaluated by a medical health unit.
At 5:02, starting with a heartbreaking case of child abuse discovered inside a Houston apartment. 3 children found abandoned with their brother's remains.
Their mother has been charged and is currently in jail, but now she's speaking out.
Our Brittany Ford is live at the Harris County Jail, and Brittany
denies all the allegations against her. She told us via phone from the jail that, quote, "I'm sorry I didn't do it." When she was asked if she knew her 8-year-old son, who has been identified as Kendrick Lee, was dead, she told us no. And why she left her kids alone? Her response, "I checked on them every 2 weeks."
You just can't be that level of dumb. So let's think about that. If you checked on the kids every 2 weeks, wouldn't you at some point have known that one of your children were dead? You would have known that the apartment smells like ass. You would have realized that there were roaches all over the damn place. How can you go check every 2 weeks, but you didn't know none of that? Her own words got her caught up. No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't know. No, I believe you did it and you knew. You participated in the ass kickings because these kids were used to getting their asses kicked. It was nothing new for mom's boyfriend to come in and whoop an ass the way that he was doing. Mom probably been abusing these kids since day one. She absolutely knew.
Those answers, contrary to court documents, would state the mom altered, destroyed, and concealed her son's body to get rid of the evidence. We were also able to speak with one of the children's parental grandmothers, who says Williams has a total of 6 kids. One of them, a 13-year-old girl who that grandmother now has custody of.
Mom was very unstable. She was sleeping on the floor at her grandmother's house with the babies. And so I just asked her to give her to me.
Now, Williams' boyfriend, Brian Coulter, appeared before a judge yesterday. Coulter charged with
that has really captured national attention. A mother and her boyfriend.
Jasmine Craig says she's on Sunday, telling them his brother had been dead for a year and his
that has really captured national attention.
I'm going to skip some of these videos because some of them look like they're repeats. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to get some of these repeat videos out here so we're not watching the same videos. But this is them walking out. Watch this. That was the mom. And thank you, Set Zebra. Much love, man. Good to see you in the building, bro. Thank you very much for the super chat. Here's mom's boyfriend. Just can't be that level of dumb. Just horrible, horrible people. That is absolutely disgusting.
We begin with a disturbing story out of West Harris County. 3 children found abandoned and living alongside the skeletal remains of another child, likely their dead sibling. Evening to you, I'm Mia Gradney.
And I'm Lynn Cannon. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says he has never encountered a case like this. 3 boys, ages 15, 7, and 10, living in an apartment along with skeletal remains.
Authorities now trying to ID those remains, but they believe it is the boy's 9-year-old brother. The children were living at an apartment complex located on Greencrest Drive at West Park Drive. Zach Tawatari is live there tonight. Zach?
Mia and Len, I spoke to a neighbor named Erica Chapman. She described a living situation where she thought something might be a little off, but the 15-year-old boy, she knew she didn't want him to go hungry, but she had no idea what was going on behind that apartment door. A children's playground.
He was sleeping on the side.
Chapman says she first met the 15-year-old boy who we're told called 911, claiming he and his siblings had been living with the remains of their brother in the room next to his.
And I asked him if he was hungry, and he said yeah, and I brought him out some food and some drinks.
Harris County deputies discovered that 15-year-old boy along with a 7- and 10-year-old boy, and tragically, the remains of another young child.
Honestly, I'm disgusted. If I knew something was wrong with any of those kids, I would have took all of them.
If you knew something was wrong, you would have taken all of them. You didn't even take a moment to make a phone call to do a welfare check on starving children, ma'am. Sorry, I'm not going to let that go.
According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the mother of the boys and her boyfriend were brought in for questioning but released. Child Protective Services sent us this statement that says, in part, the agency is seeking emergency custody of the 3 boys.
Oh, he wouldn't talk about his parents.
Erica says she didn't want to push the boy too hard with questions, hoping he would open up to her.
Because I did not want him not to come to me for food. If you're that hungry, I want him to keep coming to me. At least I know he was eating.
What? Let me rewind this, man. If I end up in Houston, if I see this lady in Houston, because I will be in Houston very soon, by the way, I'm just going to look at her in utter disgust. Like, what is wrong with you?
Her.
Because I did not want him not to come to me for food. If you're that hungry, I want him to keep coming to me. At least I know he was eating.
I'm sorry. Something about that doesn't sound right. You wanted him to keep coming to you. So you wanted him to depend on you. Why did you, ma'am, and I hope y'all don't think that I'm jumping off the deep end here. I'm sorry, but I got to say this. Ma'am, I think that's really weird. The fact that you want somebody's child to keep coming to you for food and you didn't say anything because you wanted that child to keep coming back to you. How many of y'all caught that? I bet you didn't. Because I'm always thinking about the deeper portion of things when people say stuff. And I'm thinking the psychology of, why would I want somebody else's kid to keep coming over here? Because first and foremost, you have to be careful dealing with other people's kids, right or wrong. Yes? So what would that sound like if DJ Just Jay said, I want y'all to imagine this for a minute. I'm a father, and I want y'all to think about this. Y'all catch me out there. I'm out there on the news. I'm talking to the news station, and I say, yeah, I had this 15-year-old girl coming over to my house, and I knew that she was hungry, but I wanted her to keep coming over here so she could depend on me for food. If a man said that about a 15-year-old girl, what would y'all think? In general. Talk to me, somebody, please. Hello. 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 Say it again. If you heard a man say, I wanted this 15-year-old girl to keep coming by my apartment, knocking on my door at all types of night because I want to make sure that she has food. I want to take care of her. That don't sound suspect to y'all? So you knew something was wrong. You intentionally didn't call the police because you acknowledged that you said he had been coming for 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. That is constituted in your mind. That is solidified in your mind. 6 months. But you wanted him to keep coming back to you. Why, ma'am? I'm very curious to know why you would want a 15-year-old boy to keep coming back to you rather than to his mom, to his dad, to his family. Huh? You knew he was underage. You acknowledged that he was a young kid. If you don't want people to assume stuff like this about you, why don't you just do the right thing from the jump? You feed a kid once, fine. Feed a kid a second time, fine. 6 months? Fuck that. That's weird. Do y'all think I'm wrong for calling the neighbor out? I don't think so. Y'all should be here to hear my opinion, and I hope that people do understand where I'm coming from. I hope the people in Harris County, in Houston, Texas, in the A-Leaf area understand where I'm coming from. I'm a Texas resident. I think we need to call this type of stupid-ass behavior out. You can't have neighbors that dumb.
She says she has a message for that 15-year-old boy.
That I love him and I would take him and his brothers.
Done.
And that he needs to keep his head up.
You love him and his brothers.
And his brothers.
Boy.
That I love him and I would take him and his brothers.
Done.
And that he needs to keep his head up.
What? Do y'all think I'm making too much out of this? I don't think I am. Ma'am, why are you saying you love them? You don't know shit about these kids, clearly. And if you did, then you would know that they was in here sitting in there with their dead ass brother. So you clearly don't know them. So why are you saying that you love a 15-year-old and his brothers and you didn't know that they were in that apartment? Let's hear that again.
I want him not to come to me for food. If you're that hungry, I want him to keep coming to me. At least I know he was eating.
She says she has a message for that 15-year-old boy.
That I love him and I would take him and his brothers.
Done.
And that he needs to keep his head up.
Ma'am, I wouldn't want you around any children. I'm sorry, but it's something wrong with your mentality. I don't know whether it's your cotton candy, stupid ass hair, or did y'all notice? Remember how I talked about face tattoos? Thank you. Somebody caught it. Did y'all notice her face tattoos? I've always told you guys, I've never discriminated between men and women when it comes to face tattoos. I think that people that have face tattoos have hell of a lot of mental issues. I want y'all to notice. She got My Little Pony hair. She actually looks like a little horse, doesn't she? She looked like one of those little My Little Pony girls. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm about to pull, man, I'm about to go there. I'm about to go there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She looks just, oh, she looks like all of them. Which one do I show you guys? I don't know. How about I just show you all of them? Y'all gotta see this. I want y'all to tell me that DJ Just Jay is wrong for saying that she looks like My Little Pony girl. Tell me I didn't get that right. She's shaped like a horse and she looks like a My Little Pony. With the hair and everything. Y'all want me to stop the jokes? Okay, my bad. You said she looked like Polly Pocket. Y'all better stop. I know about Mighty Max and Polly Pocket. Don't play. I'm older than y'all think. Now, here's the part that I really wanted to show you guys. And this is going to happen within the first 5 minutes of this interview. This is an interview of some people in this area in Houston, Texas, that say that they are children advocates. I want y'all to catch this. These people are children advocates. Can y'all type that in the chat? These are Houston's children advocates. She look like the actual pony girls when they transform. Damn sure do. Damn sure do. I want y'all to listen at how they describe these type of women having children. Keep an open mind. Listen with an open heart. Listen at this.
Go ahead and tell us who you are and why we're here today.
These are the children advocates.
My name is Sonia Parker, and I'm the founder of Parents Against Predators. And we're a mother.
Go ahead and tell us
Rewind that again so y'all can hear it.
who you are and why we're here today.
My name is Sonia Parker, and I'm the founder of Parents Against Predators. And we're mothers against child killers. And the reason we're here today, we want to send a strong message.
MACK, Mothers Against Child Killers. Real cute, ma'am. Let's go.
Out to mothers. Yes. Mothers are to protect their children at all costs.
Yes.
And these mothers today are choosing men over their kids.
Yes.
And they're allowing men to kill, molest, rape, bury, cut up, starve their kids. And we're tired, we're hurting. I don't say our mother can lay and sleep. I cannot sleep at night thinking about what happened to little Kendrick.
I'm going to rewind this, and I want to see if y'all catch the hypocrisy in what she just said. And I want y'all to remember, this is how we're bringing children into this world. Listen to how she described what a mother is to children. Listen at this.
The reason we're here today, we want to send a strong message out to mothers. Yes. Mothers are to protect their children at all costs.
Yes.
And these mothers today are choosing men over their kids.
Yes.
And they're allowing men to kill, molest, rape, bury, cut up, starve their kids. And we're tired, we're hurting. I don't say our mother can lay and sleep. I cannot sleep at night thinking about what happened to little Kendrick.
Pause. Right the hell right there, ma'am, Miss Advocate. And I want you to think about what you just said. Now, on the surface, y'all, look, y'all been with me too long. Some of y'all have been in the AFC for a while now. Y'all been in the AFC for some months. Some of y'all a little bit longer. Did y'all not catch what she just said and what was wrong with what she just said? Let me break it down for you. Yes, I think they're attention seekers. Let me break it down for you. That's a very surface level thing to say. Why? Thank you. Stephanie caught it. What about the fathers? You're not supposed to have children by yourself. This environment on planet Earth is not meant for mothers to raise children by themselves while these irresponsible, nasty-ass, disgusting men run off and go continue to keep sticking their dick in everything that's got a heartbeat. Hello? Do y'all hear me? When are we going to start to hold the men accountable? How stupid is this argument? These mothers are allowing this and this and this and this to happen because you're making children with just anybody and everybody for the benefits that you could collect off of these kids. And we have all of this government funding that protects them from their own choices. From their own choices. They don't have to be held accountable. If they have too many kids that they can't afford, what happens to the women? Do they go to jail? No. Do they get put on inordinate amounts of child support for having 6 and 7 kids? No. Do they lose custody of their kids? In this case, no. She actually threw her 17-year-old daughter out. And she gave up custody of one of them. It is not meant for women to raise children by themselves. Can somebody please say that in the chat? If you love children, if you respect life on planet Earth, then everybody ought to understand my very simple message. I don't understand why anybody would get mad about that. It is not meant for women to do this by themselves. Hashtag women need help. Can y'all say that for me? Hashtag women need help. Hashtag where are the fathers? That's a very one-sided argument, and it's a very surface level argument that you make. And yes, you're right that these things are happening, but it's because these men don't see these children as their own. They're not going to treat them as their own, and they don't give a crap about those children, because when those men look at these children, they see that the man that you just got done sleeping with had all of that nasty, unprotected sex with and produced these kids by those men who are no longer around, who ain't taking no responsibility for these kids. So why would this man come in and treat those kids better than what the biological fathers did? It's a sick thing. Hashtag women need help. It's not meant for you to do this by yourself. Women need husbands. Thank you. Shout out to my ladies who understand where I'm coming from.
Yes. And his brothers.
That's not even the most ridiculous thing that they said. It's coming up.
It's heartbreaking. And we want justice for them.
Yes.
And seeking the death penalty.
Yes.
Behind the justice.
Yes.
I'm Jamal.
What the hell? What the hell is that? Oh, sweet Christ of Chucky, what in the world is that on your head, ma'am? It looked like she got smacked in the head with a box of Lucky Charms. What is wrong with these people? What?
At Winters, I work alongside Miss Parker. My take on this is we need justice for Kendrick. I have a child who is autistic. Yes, they can be hard to deal with at times, but they are so lovable, and you have to love them the right way. Killing them, killing any child is unacceptable. And I feel like the apartments failed them because when they came to you and told you that there was a smell, you done nothing about it. You failed them kids. And justice needs to be served. Thank you.
Damn. I just have no words for that. Damn. Let's keep going. We're just going to skate right by that because I'm going to say something that's going to hurt that woman's feelings.
You're the next door neighbor?
Say that part.
This is the one that I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to listen to what this little young and dumb woman got to say. I want y'all to listen to her. The youngest and dumbest in the group. Let's listen to what she got to say.
I'm Alicia Trevis. I'm in Unit 518. We have seen.
This stupid ass woman just gave out her apartment number. Are you kidding me? Ma'am, I'm sure they did not ask you for your apartment number. Why did they need to know that? I don't know.
18.
Y'all hear that? Let me back it up.
Kids. And justice needs to be served. Thank you.
You're the next door neighbor?
This woman right here, listen to this. She gave away her apartment number. Listen to this.
I'm Alicia Trevis. I'm in Unit 518.
I'm in Unit 518. Why do we need to know that?
We have seen them before. We have encountered. The kids used to play together. They went to school. We didn't know. We didn't know how far or how this was transpired. But I am a mother. I have a 12-year-old daughter. And I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Oh. Now let's make it all about you, ma'am. Oh, this hurt me so bad because I got kids outside of wedlock too. Oh. I was having irresponsible sex too, y'all. I like my hair to be colored real crazy like y'all too. I'm just like y'all. And by the way, I gave out my apartment number because I want y'all to come by here, y'all.
To see all this abuse, I've been abused myself. So to see a child beaten because of them being disabled is so wrong. So wrong. I pray that Kendrick Lee gets justice. His family can stay together. By the graces of God, these kids deserve any blessing that comes to them.
Here's where it starts to really go downhill. I hope y'all are ready for this.
Please, as mothers, we need to stand together, not separated. The jealousy of women is stupid. 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 Please, somebody speak up for these kids because they did not deserve what that man did to them. Rather, I don't care how much that man made you happy. Those kids came first. Yeah. If you was not able to, if God did not want you to bear them kids, baby, you would never had them.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have had a great damn night. Happy Halloween. We're getting ready to close this stream. That's the end of the stream right there. What the hell? Ma'am, would you care to repeat yourself? How about I rewind that? I'm going to give you a double take. I want you to say that again. I want y'all to listen to how she said that this woman came to bear those children. Listen at this again.
Did not deserve what that man did to them. Rather, I don't care how much that man made you happy. Those kids came first. Yeah. If you was not able to, if God did not want you to bear them kids, baby, you would never had them. But I pray did not deserve what that man did to them. Rather, I don't care how much that man made you happy. Those kids came first. Yeah. If you was not able to, if God did not want you to bear them kids, baby, you would never had them.
What does that even mean? If God didn't want you to have those kids, so... Okay, Bible thumpers, somebody help me out. God wanted you to have these kids, but if you believe in God, if you believe in the commandments, if you believe in, getting married before you have children, the sanctity of marriage, the sanctity of raising children under one roof, then why would you continue to keep having child after child after child after child after child after child?
So wrong. I pray.
Outside of wedlock, outside of stability, outside of love, having babies and having your babies around drug dealers, huh? So now we're going to blame this on God. The reason why she has these 6 children is because of God. So God had something to do with you taking your panties off, huh? Somebody please explain to me What did God have to do with you taking your panties off, not using any birth control, not giving a damn about sexually transmitted diseases, and you keep making kids that you can't take care of, then another one 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 you can't take care of? Why would we put that off on God? Why? I don't understand. If God didn't want you to have them kids, baby, then you wouldn't have had them kids. What? Sit your stupid ass down somewhere, please, ma'am.
Stupid. Please, somebody speak up for these kids, because they did not deserve what that man did to them. Rather, I don't care how much that man made you happy, those kids came first. Yeah. If you was not able to, if God did not want you to bear them kids, baby, you would never had them. That's how I put it. But I pray to God, and my father, James Chevis, is a...
And she just said, I pray to God. Oh, man, never mind. Let me just let the video play.
Minister, and I know by the grace of God, these kids will come and they will be together. By the grace of God, I pray. Please.
Notice there are no tears. All that dramatics, no tears.
Please do not, as women, let these men run you to the ground to where you cannot speak. The First Amendment it stands.
Did she just use the First Amendment, ladies and gentlemen? Look, man, look. I know I'm being a little harsh. I know I am. I know she's trying to say something good, y'all. I'm not crazy, okay? I know she's trying. Bless this stupid baby's heart. I know she's trying. But damn, not everybody needs a microphone, man. For real.
Please do not, as women, let these men run you.
So these men are running her, even though this mother had multiple children by multiple men, but somehow those men are running her when she's the one who chose to give birth to every single one of those kids. She said it's your First Amendment. Ma'am, can you spell amendment? Probably not. She said amendments.
You to the ground to where you cannot speak. The First Amendment it stands as it says. Speak. You should not have to be a burden and not want to speak for your own.
What the hell did she just say? What? Did that make sense to any of y'all? And she just walked off like she just gonna drop the mic. That was her mic drop.
Speak for your own.
Hello, my name is Karen Pate. We're going to have a candlelight visual here. I'm a tenant here in these apartments.
Vigil. Say it with me, y'all. Vigil. Not visual. Lord have mercy. Get y'all some damn cue cards.
Hello, my name is Karen Pate. We're going to have a candlelight visual here. I'm a tenant here in these apartments.
Now y'all somebody gonna tell me I heard it wrong. No, she said visual. Listen.
Hello, my name is Karen Pate. We're going to have a candlelight visual here. I'm a tenant.
Speak for your own.
Hello, my name is Karen Pate. We're going to have a candlelight visual here. I'm a tenant here in these apartments. I've been here for over 12 years. And we're going to have a candlelight visual Saturday.
And she said it again. She said it twice.
And we're going to have a candlelight visual Saturday, 7 p.m. here in the parking lot in front of their apartment. And we just want the community to come together so we can pray
We need some healing. That family needs some healing.
Yes.
This has traumatized all of us. I mean, everywhere.
Yes.
These kids, they can't stop talking. How did his mama and daddy let him do that to him?
Right.
How do you explain that to these kids and they seeing it firsthand?
Yes.
But Saturday, candlelight vigil.
Vigil. She said it 3 times. Vigil. V-I-G-I-L. Vigil. Vigil, not visual.
Here, 7 p.m. Keep praying, y'all.
Can you talk to us a little bit about
Don't bring balloons. Bring candles to the vigil.
how does it feel to know you lived here and this was happening all around? And
This is so heavy on my chest because
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I used to sit there on the stairs, and where I sit, I could see the window. And to know I sat and walked past and had no clue. I can't. I have grandchildren. I have 5 children. One was murdered in 2002 on the street.
Y'all talk too much. Why y'all telling that? Why do they need to know that?
5 children. One was murdered in 2002 on the streets of Los Angeles, El Segundo and San Pedro. He was shot to death.
Probably at the hands of another black man.
Nobody should have to live like this. Nobody. And to know that I was sitting there and I couldn't help. That's why I'm doing everything in my power to make sure from this point on, we have to start speaking and saying something and speak to our neighbors and get to know people in our buildings. So if they need help, they can confide in us to help.
Pause right there. This is where the hypocrisy comes in. Are y'all ready for this? And yes, I think they are attention seekers. Here's why. That those children, or at least the 15-year-old, didn't they actually come out of the apartment? Didn't he come out of the apartment and gave y'all the opportunity to engage with him, and you realize, oh, he ain't got no food, y'all. He's over here starving, y'all. Was that not your opportunity to say something? It was right there in front of your face. Was that not the opportunity? Or am I missing something here? Day after day, week after week, month after month, for an entire year. One woman was feeding the boy for at least 6 months out of that year.
Don't go and want to just talk about people and mistreat them. Help them.
I have one thing I want to say about CPS.
Could you spell? I need y'all to spell your name. Can you spell your name?
Karen, Karen, Pate. P as in popcorn, A-T-E.
How long have you lived here?
I've lived here 12 years.
Wow. This is the worst.
This is the worst. That's the part that hurts.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I have one thing I want to say to CPS. You know, everybody glorifying and clapping for CPS that they got the boys. That's good. But you failed Malia Davis. Don't fail these boys. We want.
Wow. Because y'all know Malia Davis happened in Houston. Damn. Why would she say that? Malia Davis was failed by her mother. Big Belly Bowens. Can we get the emojis in the chat, please? Channel members? That's what y'all got y'all channel member status for. Y'all have access to the emoji. Y'all click that BBB emoji, the Brittany Big Belly Bowens emoji in the chat, please. And let them know that was not CPS's fault. That was mom's fault. Not CPS. Mom's fault.
I I have one thing I want to say to CPS. You know, everybody glorifying and clapping for
There it
CPS
is.
they got.
Put that emoji in the chat. There it go. Light it up, y'all. There it is. You can only do it as a channel member. If you're a channel member, you can do it.
The boys. That's good. But you failed Malia Davis. Don't fail these boys. We won't.
Do y'all understand how that makes no sense? How she's saying that CPS failed Malia Davis, and you're telling CPS not to fail these boys when these boys would have been in CPS's custody. They would have actually been fine, except for people were lying and hiding these boys. The boys themselves were hiding themselves. The neighbors were hiding the boys. The apartment complex was hiding the boys. Nobody said anything. How was that CPS's fault? Malia Davis is dead because the mom let the boyfriend murder her child and then drive off and dump this baby's body into a field. I believe they found her in Arkansas. How is that CPS's failure? How? Aren't we smart enough to be able to raise our own children? It should be common sense that if you have children, that you take care of your children. There shouldn't be some proverbial angel standing on top of your shoulder at every waking moment to make sure that you're feeding your children, taking your children to school, not beating your children, making sure that you're not giving your children illicit drugs and putting them in bad situations. It's not CPS's responsibility.
Justice for these boys, for Kendrick. We want justice for the other 3 siblings too, because they were beaten too about a stepdad. We really want justice. And I'm asking them for the death penalty. That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm going to court and stand in place for Kendrick as his mother, because a mother take care of their kids. A mother feed their kids. A mother send their kids to school. A mother hug their kids. Grandmothers call their kids and ask them how they doing, how their day went. How did you do at school? Did you do well? Where were the parents? Where were the grandparents? I have 12 grandparents. I call my grandkids every day. How was your day? Birthdays. What about their birthdays? What about holidays? Where were everybody at? This is heartbreaking. This is a lot to deal with. We need justice from the top to the bottom. We need justice. We ask for justice for Kendrick.
Are you amazed at the amount of time?
I was very upset.
Look, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all how y'all can look this up. You can look this up on YouTube under... let me see. Advocacy group calls for accountability in West Harris County child abandonment case. So if y'all want to watch the rest of that 10 minutes, feel free. I don't think there's any need for us to continue to keep watching that particular video. We got more to talk about. But again, I want to remind you guys that the biological mother had 6 children in total, 4 boys, 2 girls. She kicked her daughter out, her oldest daughter, the 17-year-old, because she saw the abuse, she said something, and mom said, you know what, you're the problem, get out of my house, and kicked her out. So therefore, the oldest, who clearly had a little more wherewithal than the other kids, was trying to stop the abuse that was going on. So she cut her off from her siblings. Then mom and boyfriend forced and subjected these children to all kind of abuse and violence. Kept them there, and because she knew that the rent here was going to be so cheap with her Section 8, they turned around and said, you know what, we can have 2 apartments. How about that? They can be stuck over here and we can go over here and go live the good life. Like, if you just listen to that, that sounds like the greatest level of stupid that there is. But stupid is stupid thugs. Hood hoes love hood dick, and stupid is stupid thugs. Mom's boyfriend was a thug, and mom is a damn thug herself. She is a horrible individual. She should never have children. They should they should lose all of their reproductive rights, and they should lose their reproductive organs. They need both life in prison. They should be treated equally for this. Like y'all know how, let me call something out, because we need to actually call this to be an actual change in our judgment system in the courts. In the courts, whenever there is a robbery, if people who are participating in a robbery, if somebody dies, gets shot and gets murdered, everybody who participated, including the getaway driver, can be charged with what? Everybody can be charged with murder. So I want you to think about this. My analogy is that these mothers continue to take their children to the thug zoo. They stick their children in the thug lion cage, and what does the fake Paul Wall, gold, silver, aluminum teeth in his mouth? What does he do to these kids? The mom's thug lion, her little pet. He mauled and murdered this kid and left the bones. And mom didn't care. She left those kids continuing to live in the thug lion cage. And if you place your children in harm's way, then why should you not be held equally responsible for the death of your children? If you ask me, both of them should get a murder charge for that and a murder charge for that, at the very least. The rest of those charges should also follow as well. But mom should be charged with murder just the same. But that's why I say that law needs to be changed. So if we have a law like that for robbery, why can't we have a law like that for our children? Uh-oh. Come on, Texas, with the super aggravated child abuse laws. We do good with certain things. Can we not step up for that? Can we not step up for that? This next voting season, the thing that we're going to ask for is we're going to ask for more accountability for those who hurt, murder, and abuse children. For those who take advantage of children, kidnap children, do anything detrimental to children, should face maximum consequences at every single turn, because that's the only way that this is going to get fixed. To get rid of people like this. He was never a good person. He's always been a horrible person. He should have never been in this house. He should have never been in our society. Mom and boyfriend gotta go. I'm done with this story. And let me say R.I.P. to that little prince. Let me see if I can get his picture back up here. Because he did. He was a handsome young man. Kendrick Lee, young prince. R.I.P. If we have any more details to report about this story, because the only thing I plan to talk about is probably what their actual sentencing is going to be. But if there's more stuff that comes out, we'll definitely report it on this channel. Thank you to everybody who actually came and sent me an email. I can't talk. That sent me an email. There were dozens and dozens of emails just on this one story, okay? But I did get it, and I thank you all for listening to me with an open mind as well as an open heart. And I hope you understand with discernment the message that I'm trying to get across, okay? Justice for our children. They both should get a murder charge. Change the laws. Update the laws. Let's get it right, all right? Thank y'all for listening to this story. We'll see you on the next story with another update whenever we talk about this again, okay? Thank you. Now, for those who are still here, I actually do have one more story. Do y'all want to hear one more story before we call it a night on Halloween? Or post-Halloween? Because I guess Halloween just ended about 45 minutes ago. If y'all have time for one more story, I can actually tell you one more story. And then over the next couple of days, I will post them as premieres so you can watch them in their shorter form. And matter of fact, that video I'll probably will shorten it even more. If I could cut it down to about 30 minutes, that'll probably be a little bit easier for you guys to digest. Because an hour and a half is a little bit much. Even for me. This next story actually doesn't have any news videos. And I'm surprised. And I don't know why this was not big news. And yeah, thank you, Sorrowful Angel. Thank you all. Josh, Jimmy, Keyshawn. What up, Keyshawn? Good to see you. Gabe, what up, Gabe? Did I miss anybody who donated? I did. I missed Beth. Beth, if you're listening, thank you for your Cash App. I think I caught everybody else. I think I said thank you to Amanda. I already said thank you to Amanda. Thank you. And also, if you guys get a chance, I know y'all are listening right now. There's a link at the top that's pinned up there at the top that says, please vote for the AFC on Facebook. That message is pinned at the top. If you click that link, vote for the AFC podcast. We have until, I think, November the 15th before voting ends for people's favorite podcast in Oklahoma. And we're still kind of behind in the voting race because people are getting a lot of love out there, okay? So if y'all would, please vote for the AFC if you have a Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook, don't worry about it. Only if you have a Facebook. If you do, just type in my name or type in the AFC podcast for favorite podcast. There should be a discussion. Click discussion and then find the group that says favorite podcast. But that link at the top should take you directly there. So let's talk about our last story and then we'll wrap up. Let me say thank you. Wow, Little Bit. Where you at, Little Bit? Where's Little Bit at? Where is Little Bit? I think I just saw you type in the chat. I just got your donation. Let me see if I can find you in the chat. Little Bit, if you're in the chat, type something in the chat for me, please. I know I saw your name. See if I can find you. I just got your Cash App. I'm going to wait for you to type. Oh, there it is right there. I see you. So, boom. I never tell you guys what to donate as far as to earn a moderator status. But more than anything, that's just my little way of saying thank you. So I just blessed you moderator status. And, you know, I will have them on there for a little while, and then I'll swap the mods out after a couple months. So I don't want anybody to take any offense to that, but I do kind of give the moderator wrenches, and I'll swap them out from time to time. But just my way of saying thank you for your donation by way of Cash App, and said bless you for what you do, and sent with the prayer hand emojis and some hearts. So Little Bit, if you're listening, thank you very much. So now when you type, you should have a blue wrench if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you should. When you type now, you should see your blue wrench pop up. Or close your chat and open it, and then you should see it. Y'all ready to talk about this beautiful baby boy on my screen? And by the way, all of the links are in the description box for everything related to the AFC. Let's talk about this beautiful baby boy real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is very heartbreaking, not only because of what happened to this boy, but I also thought it was heartbreaking because I think the news missed an opportunity to talk about this story. I found 0 news videos about this, and I'm seriously thinking that this story was probably not circulated very well, but I do want to share the memory of this baby boy that you see on my screen. For what he went through was absolutely disgusting, okay? But I'm going to give a couple of opinions that might not sit well with your sensibilities. So if you can't handle that, I understand. But we are going to be giving some very difficult details about this story. A bullying father. So this father is a bully. A bullying father accused of murdering his 6-year-old son. And a campaign of cruelty is the way that they describe it. Told police he will be remembered as the dad who killed his son. And I'm getting this from Daily Mail, so shout out to Daily Mail. They put together a pretty comprehensive article, so I'm thankful for that. The father's name, let me see if I can get a solo shot of him up here. Well, I might not have a standalone picture of him. I don't think I do. On the left-hand side of my screen, that is Thomas Hughes, 29 years old. He told police he is accountable for the death of Arthur Labinjo. I cannot pronounce that middle name. Labinjo. I don't know if that J is a J or if it's a ha, like Latin. I'm not sure. But Arthur Hughes, so I'll call him Arthur Hughes. That beautiful baby boy right there, whom he allegedly killed with his new partner, dad's girlfriend, Emma Tustin, Tustin, Emma Tustin, who's 32 years old, which is, I believe that's the woman on the right-hand side. Don't hold me to that, but we'll get to it here in a minute. The couple said to have subjected Arthur to systematic abuse designed to terrorize this boy. Arthur was allegedly deprived of food. He was made to stand in a hallway for 14 hours a day. Starved him and made him stand in a hallway for 14 hours. Not 14 seconds, not 14 minutes, 14 hours. And poisoned with salt before being fatally attacked at Tustin's home near Solihull, West Mids last June. I can't pronounce that. Anyway, prosecutors allege that Arthur was subjected to months of cruelty by Hughes and Tustin, which matched the medical definition of child torture. The pair denied murder and multiple counts of child cruelty. Of course, why would they admit to it? I don't think very many criminals are going to admit to their wrongdoing, right? During police interviews, Hughes revealed how Arthur had spent much of his waking hours during lockdown in isolation and admitted to the police, "I'll be honest now. Now I've had a taste of it, but it was the same as prison. It wasn't nice and it was wrong." In transcripts read out to jurors at the Coventry Crown Court, Hughes said, from lockdown up until his death, he spent more of his time in isolation. "I can't remember the time he was treated like a normal child myself. I can't remember the last time he was allowed to sit and watch TV." Without the presence of a solicitor, Hughes revealed how he slapped Arthur for interrupting his fish and chips and slashed his favorite football shirt. He told how he sent text messages telling his girlfriend Tustin to bounce Arthur's head and kill him, and said he put him in punishment rules that would see his son confined to the hallway from nearly the time that he got up in the morning until bedtime. I'm sorry, but I honestly believe, I don't know where the biological mother is. It's a good question. But I honestly believe that it would be excellent justice if, for the suffering and abuse that these children went through, somebody needs to put these parents through. Stepmom and biological father should be put through everything plus more that boy went through. Hughes told detectives while in custody, "I know it doesn't paint me in a brilliant light, and I know I'm not going to be remembered as the dad that I was. I'll just be remembered as the dad who killed his son." So he's thinking about himself. That's a self-serving comment. I don't like that. "I really didn't want it to come to this. When told Arthur was found with 130 bruises on his body at post-mortem, the dad, Hughes, told officers he could account for most. In his 6th interview while under arrest, he told detectives, "It paints me as a monster, I'm aware. I'm nearly 27 years old. I'm 27 years old, nearly 28. For nearly all of those years, I've never been in trouble with the police. Like that even matters. Nobody would have a bad word to say, but the last few weeks, they would have had a lot of bad things to say. Sounds like he's only worried about himself and how people are going to view him. That is disgusting." That last few months, I effectively turned into a monster. That's how I'm going to be seen now. I'm not going to be the dad whose boy worshipped the ground that he walked on. Hughes added, I never intended to hurt him. It's a case of discipline gone too far, and it went horribly wrong. And I 100% disagree with that. The court was told that when the girlfriend Tustin was arrested, she disclosed that she was 8 weeks pregnant, of course. Because isn't that exactly what child abusers and murderers need, is they need to be producing more children, right? Guess that's the way that works. Arthur was said to have spent his waking hours segregated and isolated in a hallway and made to sleep on a living room floor. Hughes the dad, speaking after being arrested and held in police custody, told detectives how he whacked or hit Arthur's legs for making noises while he ate fish and chips and cut the boy's favorite Birmingham City football shirt in front of him. The admissions were made to the police in an interview 2 days after Arthur died from fatal head injuries at Birmingham Children's Hospital. He said, I took some scissors to it and ripped it up in front of him, trying to break this boy spiritually, emotionally, and physically. He was upset. He had a meltdown. He loved football shirts. And this dad took the only thing away from this boy that he really, really, truly cared about. It's disgusting. Because I knew he loved his football shirts, I made him put another one in the bin. He added, I ripped up his favorite blanket in front of him and put that in the bin. Arthur had been in the full-time care of Hughes after Olivia Hallcrow was accused of killing her new partner, Gary Cunningham, in February of 2019. So I'm going to assume that's where the biological mother is. If the biological mother is Olivia Hallcrow, she was accused of killing her new partner, Gary Cunningham, in February of 2019. So you guys can look that up. Hughes then fell hook, line, and sinker for Tustin, jurors were told, and moved into her home in Cranmore Road when the country entered lockdown in March of 2020. Prosecutors alleged that the girlfriend Tustin murdered the youngster when she was home alone with him and that Hughes intentionally encouraged the killing. Tustin had pleaded guilty to 1 count of child cruelty but denies further charges of the same offense. Hughes denied all of the charges. In an interview, Hughes said he believes his treatment of Arthur had led to the death and described Tustin as being Mother Teresa. He told officers, I put Arthur in that position. I'm accountable for it. I don't believe anyone else is. I put Arthur in that position and I have to deal with that. I know it's a long way off, but I'm guilty. I make no bones of it. Again, that's that self-serving bullcrap. I don't want other people to suffer for my ignorance and my neglect. Jurors also heard text messages between Hughes and Tustin talking of the alleged abuse. In one message, the dad, Hughes, threatens to take his jaw, his shoulders, threatened to take his jaw off his shoulders. Wow. He threatened to take his jaw off his shoulders. Just gag him or something. Tie a rope around his mouth with a sock in it or something. Under questioning, Hughes told police the texts were in the heat of the moment. In a 999 call made to 12 minutes after Arthur was found unresponsive, Tustin claimed that head injuries were self-inflicted. So they're going to blame this on the kid. Ain't that something? They say that the boy did this to himself. That's what the girlfriend is claiming. She said that the injuries were self-inflicted. She claimed that he had banged his head while on the floor on all fours. Hughes also told how he hit Arthur's head while he was unresponsive and pulled his hair in a bid to provoke a reaction. He added, I said to Emma, phone the ambulance because she didn't want to. There's still a little bit more here. Coventry Crown Court heard that when Hughes was taken into custody, he began deliberately hitting his head more than 200 times against the cell wall. Jurors told how Arthur's wider family had raised concerns with social services and police in April 2020 after finding bruises on his back. So they tried to say something. His grandmother, Joanne Hughes, took photographs of the injuries to the boy's back before telling social services that she was concerned for her grandson. Uncle Daniel Hughes claimed that he also sent photos of the youngster's bruises to the police after attempting to visit Tustin's home with other family members, but never heard back. And that's really all they can do. Earlier in the trial, a medical expert said he believed that Arthur was shaken and slammed with very severe force. Consultant neuropathologist Daniel Duplessis said that the chances of Arthur causing himself a fatal head injury was inconceivable, which I agree. We're not dumb. We understand. Opening the trial, Jonas Hankin, QC, told jurors both defendants participated in a campaign of cruelty intended to cause Arthur significant harm and suffering. Violence and intimidation, both physical and verbal, were routine. Arthur's visible injuries, his miserable physical condition, and obvious despair provided each defendant with a daily reminder of the lengths to which the other would go to cause this boy harm. This boy had nobody. It would have been nice if they would have given up custody to the family. That would have been nice. This boy had no mother and had the worst father possible. Let's go back to that picture. The father smiles in your face, and all the time he wants to take your place. That backstabber. Backstabber. That's what that face reminds me of that father. A devil in disguise. He is a horrible individual, and I hate the fact that he said all of that in court, talking about, well, I know what I did was wrong. No, he doesn't. He didn't care. He needs the death penalty, the ultimate penalty under law, as well as the girlfriend. What they did to this boy, like the people said, was inconceivable. They lied on him, tried to blame it on him, and made him live a life of torture for no damn reason. For that, they need the ultimate penalty under law. So I hope that whenever we get that verdict, that I can deliver that news to you guys whenever we do an update. But what that boy went through was just absolutely disgusting. Beautiful baby boy. Young Arthur, R.I.P. young prince, R.I.P. All that baby boy needed with that beautiful bright smile was just a chance, a real opportunity to grow up and become something great. So we need to use these stories as a cautionary tale to save another child. We can't do anything about this baby boy, but what we can do is we can be AFC in our neighborhoods and our family. Make sure if you see something, say something, report it, and save a life and save a child. I'd rather you say something and be wrong rather than don't say anything and a child end up dead. Thank y'all for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. And from my heart to yours, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. And I'll see you guys on the next stream, all right? Happy Halloween. Peace. Thank y'all so much, and I thank you all. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Lil Bit. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Jimmy D. Thank you, Donna. And also thank you to... forget her name, but she knows who she is. Y'all have a great day. AFC, Advocates for Children. Advocates for Children. Y'all have a great night.
Nora's Authentic Designer has some of the most glamorous and stylish handbags your girl has ever seen. So ladies, if you want to get fly, and fellas, if you want to take care of your lady, please be sure to go to www.noras915.com. www.noras915.com. That's right, www.noras915.com.
Hello, listeners. Come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential, handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses, like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-size masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.
Check out this wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. It's called Bags for Kids, BAGS4KIDS.org. And check out their website. They really help a lot of kids in foster care, giving them a permanent piece of luggage and also a lot of items that they might need so that they feel that they belong, which they do. So go to the website, bags4kids.org. So go for it. It's a great place, and they're doing great work.
Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.
Yes, indeed, man. And before we close out, here's what I want to do real quick. We still have about 500-600 people in the building. I want to see how many of you guys have a Facebook page, and I want to see if I can get some of you guys to go over to Facebook, and I'm going to put a link in the chat, and I want you guys to go over to Facebook to this group called the 7th Annual OKC People's Choice Awards. It's an Oklahoma thing, and what I want you guys to do is I want you to type in the AFC podcast, and if you will, I want you guys to vote for our podcast because we're a little bit behind in the voting right now.